Hey guys, today we are talking about author life goals. We're talking about writing goals, we're talking about author platform goals, we're talking about NaNoWriMo goals. It's going to be a lot of fun. And today we are going live. So I'm going to give you a bunch of content today, but we are also having a little chat box over here with any of you that are here live so I can answer any of your questions and we can talk about some of these things in more depth. So I'm really excited. Thank you guys. Some of you even showed up early. So let me just pull up the chat real fast. But we had Katie, and we have Morgan, and we have Lo and Steven and Rebecca. I'm so glad you guys are here. Let me just pull up the other things that we are talking about. We're going to be talking about goals, but I'm also going to be sharing a little bit, hopefully to inspire you, of my goals and how they worked out for my last bi-monthly video that I did in September, where I laid out a bunch of goals, and we're going to see how many I actually got done, what worked for me with my process and my goals, and what didn't work, and some of the things I learned so I can sort of give you some of those tips. And if you stay until the end, which we're going to see how long this goes for, but if you stay until the end, I'm also revealing more about my secret project that I gave you a little bit of a tidbit of a hint in that first bi-monthly goals video. And I'm just going to reveal this here, and some of you already know this if you follow me on Instagram, but I'm going to be launching next week my author website services. So I'm going to be helping you either create or improve your author website. So I'm not going to talk a lot about that right now, but if you stay until the end, we will be talking about that as well. So yeah, I'm so excited that we have some of you guys either on your lunch break or you are just here to chat goals. Let me know if you guys hear me okay and where you're tuning in from, and if you're on your lunch break or what time is it where you are in the world. Let me know. I'm just gonna say hi to you guys real fast. Hi, Stuart. He says, hi, as for goals, I need to start writing more, should probably stop watching YouTube. Yes, but I don't know about you, but like watching YouTube and watching AuthorTube definitely gets me revved up. So if you can balance that, that's definitely really good. But it is important not to not write because you're watching AuthorTube. Hi, Cam. And Rebecca's excited for secrets. And Emma's here, here from Sweden, and it's 6 p.m. here. Awesome. Cool. Well, I'm glad this time worked for some of you. Megan's here from Baltimore. Awesome. Katie's here from Texas. It's 11 a.m. Awesome. Yay. Yeah, we'll be talking about a little bit about my work in progress and its updates. Morgan says it's 9:03 in the morning in Cali. Oh, it's probably so warm there. Lois from the Netherlands, 6 p.m. And Rebecca's watching from work in her cafeteria. You guys are great. I'm so excited. So now that I'm streaming on my computer, actually, I can be like a cool person and like look at my notes on my phone. I never get to do this because I'm always filming with my phone. But here we go, you guys. I'm so excited. Definitely keep letting me know your goals that you have been working on, maybe for the last month or 2 months or so. How has that been going? I would really love to know. And if you have any struggles that you would like to discuss as I share, or any tips that you have in addition to what I'm going to be sharing. So let's look at this for a second. And I also wanted to say before we get into my goals and how I did with them and what I learned from that, I do want to let you know that in the description already is my previous goals video and also my bullet journal video about how I schedule my time. So if you find that helpful and you like using bullet journal or you don't know what that is and you want to check it out, those are in the description below. Cool. All right. Here from Tennessee. Awesome. Hi, Chloe. It's actually a bit chilly here. Oh, it is very cold here. So that's why I'm all, cozy. Portland, Oregon. Great, guys. Okay, so here's some updates for me, okay? First, I want to give you a couple of tips, some practical things, some things that worked for me and some things that definitely didn't the last 2 months. So the first tip I want to give you is you're going to have your list for the day of all the things you want to do, whether it's writing related or it's author platform related or it's personal related and just personal life. But I make my whole list for the day, and then I always set or I star 3 priorities. So this was like key for me because I would see my whole list and some of those things would be like, okay, like I could do them a couple days later. If I didn't get to it, it's like, okay. But if I didn't check everything off that list, I would be like, I sort of feel like I failed a little bit because I didn't get to check them all off. Maybe that's the perfectionist in me, but that's how I felt. But when I set those 3 priorities and I said, yeah, here's my list, here's the dream of what I want to get done. But if I get these 3 things done, I will have been a success today. That just made me feel so awesome. And I was able to get those 3 things done more days than not. And I was just like, okay, these other things, like if I got them done, great. And if I didn't, then they're getting pushed off to the next day. So I don't know if any of you do that already, but if you don't, I would definitely try it because it was super, super helpful. Just want to see you guys in the comments as well. Wow, the UK, you guys are from all over. Super, super fun. All right, let's keep going with some tips. I also, like I said, I use my bullet journal. And I just want to show you that real quick. If you do not bullet journal, it's basically like getting an empty journal, but then setting up your own pages where you are putting your to-dos. And I have like, this is for November, but then I had everything for October as well. This is October. Sorry, it's backwards because of the screen. But that was October. And these were all the things that I wanted to do throughout the month. And then these were like my events for a month and my gratitude log. And then here I had every week, and up at the top I did my author goals and I did my personal goals. And then each day I sort of segmented them into each week, or each day rather. And it's been working really, really well for me. So any other bullet journalers in the house, let me know. And if you use different spreads and stuff, I would love to see what they look like. So send me those or tag me in them in your Instagram or wherever you go on social, because I love learning about new sprints. I'm in the word sprint mindset, but spreads on in the bullet journal. Cool. Rebecca is working on priorities. Awesome. And your handwriting looks so organized. Yeah, well, if I let you get closer, you'll see how messy it is. But thanks, Rebecca. Cool. I also, as I've already talked about on my YouTube channel and everywhere else, I had an author coach these last 2 months, which was awesome. I have a link in the description below of a video of a review of my experience. And author Jade Young was my coach, and it was just really, really helpful. And if you can't pay for a coach though, like get some accountability. If you don't already have like a critique partner or somebody that you're checking in with like daily or a couple times a week, you know, it's great to set those goals. But if you don't have someone asking you like, hey, did you do that? How is that going? Then I don't know about you, but I'm less likely to do it. But if I know that people are counting on me, like when I do these videos, I'm like, okay, I really need to get some of this done. So hopefully that is helpful, and you do get someone to help you be accountable if you don't already. Rebecca says, I mostly have a stream of consciousness journal. I fill 100-ish pages a month. Wow. That is, well, if it's helpful for you, that's amazing. Emma says bullet journal here. Great. Morgan says, I'm trying to get into bullet journaling. It takes a little time, but I'm starting to get used to it and I'm really liking it. Yeah. And you can use like a regular you know, organizer or daily planner that's already set up. But yeah, if you want like a little more flexibility, that I just love it. And I can do another video if you guys would like about how I do my daily spreads. I think I did more of like an overall week schedule in my last video, but if you'd like to see a daily spread and how I use this, it's really simple, really functional. Let me know and I will definitely make that. Cool. Kuma does bullet journaling. Woohoo! You guys, it's great. Also, another tip that was helpful for me is to dream big, but set specific deadlines and set specific goals. So there were definitely things that I'm going to share with you in a few minutes that I did not do, that I did not get done. But because I set a goal that was like bigger than even like I was thinking I could do, I got so much more done than if I set like a goal that was like less than I knew I could do, or that I dreamed I could do. So I set big dreams, I set big goals, but I also set like specific goals, not just like, oh, I want to edit my book, or oh, I want to like do a certain amount of posts, or like whatever, like setting those specific goals and then putting that in your bullet journal and setting deadlines. That was super, super helpful. And I had no idea that I struggled with making deadlines until I was talking to Jade during our author coaching. And she was like, well, when do you want to have that finished? And I was like, I don't know. I don't want to set a deadline because it's just like I knew that I would have to like really get it done. But anyway, so if you're not already like setting deadlines for things, those can really motivate you as well. Morgan says, I'm trying to get into, oh, sorry, already read that. But Morgan said again, I'd love to see a video about the daily spread. Okay, I'm putting it on my list. Hi, Lisa. Happy Monday. So glad you're here. Yeah, UGG deadlines, Rebecca. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But again, having like an accountability partner, having an author coach that can like really nail that down for you, super helpful. Let's talk about some things that didn't work. So taking too much on or expecting too much from myself. So like I dreamed big, but in those moments where I like really was just like, I have to get it all, I have to do it all, I have to get it all done. Those were the moments of stress. So I think Katie earlier, before we actually got on, she was in the chat and she was just like, yeah, I'm doing well on my goals, but like the goal of like not stressing out is like not happening. And I'm like, I totally understand. So it's like this balancing act of like, hey, like I want to dream big, I want to be able to do that, but I also can't expect myself to do everything. And that's where like having certain priorities or having like, yeah, setting of a list of things that are like, these are the top things. And if I get these things done, great. But if I don't, I'm not a failure. Like I still succeeded and I can just do those things later. That is super important to keep. Like I know Rebecca talks a lot about mindset, and on her podcast, if you need a podcast to listen to, you should go to Rebecca's podcast. But yeah, like I want to be able to find that balance where I dream big, but I don't expect like insane craziness for myself, right? So don't get discouraged, but know your limits, or at least when you're setting goals, know that you are learning your limits as you set goals, if that makes sense. Like as you're experimenting, as you're like trying new things, like know that this is a learning process, and whatever you learn, like that is a success in and of itself, because you're like, hey, I learned that I can't handle that, or I learned that I could handle a lot more than I thought I could. Cool. Words Fall says, I want to get 2K by 6 p.m. Sorry, 12K. Wow, 12K. That's amazing. And I have 11,995 words. Wow, that's fabulous. That's really, really cool. Kuma says, I do a done list when I feel overwhelmed. Ooh, yeah, that's a great tip. So like when it's like you have your to-do list, but then like you like sort of reward yourself with like, hey, these are all the things I got done. That's sort of what I do like at the end of the month. I make sure I look back and I see all that I accomplished, and it like helps me not like be like, what did I do this month? Rebecca says that's a good way to put it. Limits are learned. Exactly. Lizzie says, yeah, I have a to-do list that's really long and I'd like to get it done today, but I know that I'll get burned out if I try to do too much. Yeah. And Lizzie, I don't know if you were here in the beginning, but try just picking like 3 things that you're like your 3 priorities. And if you can get those things done, then it's just like everything else is like icing on the cake. Let's keep going. Something else that didn't work for me, putting writing last did not work for me. So if you watched my other bullet journal video, I was like choosing blocks of time that I would do things. And some of those blocks I had writing like in the afternoon, and I had like author platform stuff in the morning. And what I learned is that if I don't start with writing in the morning, it almost never gets done, because my goal was like, I'm going to do like author platform and I'm going to do all these other things author related in the morning so that I can just write all afternoon. But I would get so wrapped up in stuff and get so excited and have new ideas and all this stuff that I would just like, it would get to like 3 o'clock and I would be like, oh, I haven't written yet. Now I need to switch my brain process and get into the writing mode. But the days that I started off with writing, I was like, wow, this was really like fabulous. And maybe, yeah, I won't have enough time to do some of these author platform things, but the book, it has to get written, and it's not going to get written if I don't prioritize it. So for me, I realized that going forward, I need to put writing first. And so if you haven't done any like morning writing, I know some people like Rebecca have done like the 5 a.m. Writers Club, where they get up at 5 a.m. and write and make that a priority. If you haven't tried that yet, definitely try it if you're struggling with getting the words out. Rebecca says, I call it my done list. A ta-da list. Ta-da! I love that for extra fun. That's great. Cool. Hi, Brooke. We're just talking about goals. So share your goals if you want. Writing. Oh, she says writing before work is what gets me going the rest of the day too. Yeah, and that can actually like spur on your creativity. And if you have to go do other things during the day, like you've already written and you already have your story in your brain, and then you could actually brainstorm more ideas and get excited about writing again later, possibly. Cam says, yep, writing fresh in the morning is a productive routine for me. Fabulous. Lizzie says, I write better at night. I'm a huge night owl. Cool. And if that works for you, Lizzie, more power to you. I just learned for myself from this process that it did not work for me. Cool. And then, oh, and then I realized, this was my last thing that I realized during the last 2 months, is it's really helpful when I go into write to have a process. So I've been working more on editing, but when I'm doing like nano and stuff as I'm going forward, I realize that after writing, I need to make like a mini list of like things I would like to go back and fix at some point, not necessarily in the near future, but instead of going back and like spending so much time trying to make it all perfect, I just make some developmental notes at the end. I make some notes about what I need to work on in my next writing session. And then the next time I go to write, I reread a little bit of what I wrote and I look at my notes and I see what is coming next, either in my outline or what I need to be writing. And so I spend like a few minutes of my, like if I'm doing word sprint or writing time, that's like the first thing I do. And then that catapults me into having a more successful writing session. So I know I had some questions from Brandy W. Henry and Lick some Emma is her username on Instagram, but they were asking like, how do I get into the habit of writing and not get burnt out and all this stuff. So I'll share a little bit more answers to those questions at the end, but there's a tip for you guys already. Cool. All right. I just lost my place, but I just want to see you guys in the comments one more time. All right. So we've got some night writers. So guys, share in the comments for our night writers. What are your tips? Like, how do you have successful night writing? For those of you that are just like, hey, I can't get up early. So share those tips and I will read those out loud for sure. Ryan says, once my wife and daughter go to bed, I get my write on. And that, yeah, sometimes just with your lifestyle, that is just what's best for you. And then Brooke, great to make sure family is in check before you get settled into your writing world. Yes, exactly. And prioritizing family and the things that matter most in your life. Yes, that is not on my list, but it should have been because I totally learned that as well. And I said your username right. Good. Thanks, Emma. I'm glad I tried. And Lisa says chocolate. That's her tip. I think I've seen you say that before too, Lisa, and I love it. Cool. Okay, guys, so I am going to move into sharing how I did with my writing goals from 2 months ago and what I'm hoping to accomplish going forward. And hopefully, this is something to be accountable for me, but I hope it inspires you and gives you some ideas for your own goals and how to go farther, faster as well. Oh, I keep losing my place. How do you guys do it with your phones in the AuthorTube world? This is my first time doing this. I'm so sorry. Okay, here we go. All right. And I would love for you guys to share, how did you do with your goals, maybe this past month or however you do with your goals. Do you do it weekly, monthly, bi-monthly? Would love to know that in the comments as well. And if you guys are watching this on the replay, everything that I'm sharing here, I am definitely going to talk to you guys in the comments. So definitely feel free to, I can't talk today. Definitely feel free to leave those answers in the comments. There we go. Blah, blah, blah. Words, people. Okay. Just in time for the goals part. Yay! Yeah, and you can always watch this on the replay because I just shared a bunch of tips and things that I learned this last 2 months. Cool. So writing. I wanted to, these were my goals for my writing, right? I wanted to revise and rewrite my draft. And so we had this whole edit that draft challenge on Instagram. And I got wrapped up in this place where I was rereading the whole, what I had written, because I had 50,000 words of my first draft. And I got into this place where I was just taking a ton of notes. And so this is where like I had an outlandish, not outlandish, but it was like a big goal of like writing draft 2 or editing draft 2. And what I learned is that I really do need more time to process between draft 1 and draft 2. I took a ton of notes. I actually created like a series Bible, like a digital series Bible, which if you haven't seen that video yet, I talk about that and I have that link down below. But I had developmental notes in there. I had character notes. I had all these things that helped shape, okay, what do I have to fix between draft 1 and draft 2? And it just took me a lot longer than I expected. But here's where like I'm not beating myself up. I'm just like, this is what I had to learn. And now I feel like going into NaNoWriMo, I have, I'm using that. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm using that to write draft 2. And it was really helpful to just sort of take the last couple months and like really evaluate before I went back into editing and writing. So hopefully that is helpful. Lo says, I really like sitting in my bed and writing by hand at night, less distractions. So these are tips for night writers. Lizzie says one thing is to block your clocks on all of your devices, and then you start writing. Have a family member let you know when it gets too late so you don't stay up late. Awesome. Brandy says, yes, I have to close out my email. So closing out all the tabs is good. Cool. Rebecca says that happened for me as well. I cannot jump back in right away. Yeah, and this is where, again, we're learning and we're learning what our process is, and whatever our process is, it can always change, but you know, we're just learning and it's okay. And my other writing goal, because I was hoping to edit my whole draft in September, was in October to do beta readers, which again, these were big goals that I was just like, yes, I want to get this done. But what I've done is I'm just going to move that to January, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with where I am in the process of writing. And I'm really liking how draft 2 is coming out with NaNoWriMo so far. Blah. So, I moved that to January, and if you guys have been following any of the little details I've been sharing about my story and it sounds exciting to you and you want to be a beta reader, definitely let me know because I have a running list going, and let me know if you'd be interested for that because that's going to happen in January, hopefully. So then my second section, so I divided all of my goals into sections. My second section was reading, and I wanted to read 1 book a month, and I did this, and I talked about getting Scribd, which is like sort of like Audible, but yeah, you should watch the other video where I talk about that a little bit. And I have just too many physical books that I couldn't justify paying for Scribd yet. So I read physical books, and I read The Cruel Prince in September, and I took a bunch of notes on story structure and stuff. So that was good. It wasn't my favorite book. I still want to read book 2. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I was excited that I read a book and I read it in my genre, and it has to do about fairies. So I wanted to compare it to like sort of my fairy world as well. So that was fun. And I was just wondering, you guys, if you would like to see any book reviews on this channel. And it wouldn't just be like, hey, I like this book or I didn't. It would be like from the perspective of a writer, like sort of taking the story structure apart, taking character development apart, and like evaluating it, and then saying, these are the things I learned for my writing based on reading this book. So if that kind of video would be interesting to you, definitely let me know because I've been thinking about doing some of those. The other book that I read was Save the Cat Writes a Novel. And you guys, if you haven't picked it up, if you haven't read it, it just came out in October, and it is amazing. I'm still using it. I have a ton of notes and different things that I keep referencing, and it is really helping me with NaNoWriMo and with when we did Preptober. So I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I should do a review about this as well. If you want to see a review about this book, let me know. I can do more reviews about author craft books as well. Let me just check the comments real fast. Maureen says, a show you can watch while writing, and coffee for late night and writing, and a time to set. I'm sorry, I'm not reading that well. Time to set it if it gets too late. Oh, okay, cool. Brandy says, better to take more time than accept the work that's less than your abilities. Yes, exactly. JM, I would love that. I like that, says Katie. I need to get that. Yeah. So I think you guys are talking about the different book reviews possibly and the books. Yes. Totally. Kathy says, me too. I definitely enjoy videos like that, especially if you would analyze the story structure of the books. Yes, I'm all about story structure. So, and that's how it would be different than like BookTube. It would be like really like focused on like the writing and the craft and everything. Ryan says author craft reviews would be awesome. Ooh, I like that term too, author craft reviews. Yes, that's fabulous. Okay, moving on. Oh, more comments. Oh, hey. Cool. Hexrex says, oh my lady, you have some very wholesome looks. Good Christian woman to take back to the food. Oh, jeez. Okay. Brooke says, by the way, I love your new haircut. Saw you talking about it on Insta stories. Thank you. Yeah, it's like really short in the back, but it's fun. Cool. Okay. Other platform stuff. This was my other section here. And so I had YouTube. I wanted to do at least one video a week, which I did for the 2 months. I wanted to do at least one live stream a month, and I didn't do it in October, but I did one in September with R. Judy Wrights, and we talked all about critique partners, and that's linked below if you want to check that out. It was super fun. And now I can't remember if I said in the beginning, but I'm planning to do these live streams on Mondays, giving you tons of content, but also talking to you in the comments until the end of the year. And it's basically because I just have so much going on, especially with this author website services stuff coming out and just focusing on that as well. But I still want to give you guys videos every single week. So I just love going live with you guys. I love chatting with you. I love going back and forth. It's actually sort of more fun than making the canned videos. So I was like, hey, let me just do that for the rest of the year. And if I have extra time to do some canned videos, I will, but this is the plan. So if you guys like Mondays, if you're watching this on the replay, and 12 noon doesn't work for you normally, but sometime in the evening does, definitely let me know what times work for you and I can vary it from Monday to Monday. But I'm excited to do this more often with you guys for the rest of the year. So let me know if that sounds good to you and if you would like to jump on and if this time works for you as well. Then I have my Plotter Life Writers Facebook group, and our plan with my team that I have is to do one big event every month or like a minor event. But we did, in September, we did a critique partner finding event. So we helped a ton of people find their critique partners for the first time, which was really exciting. And then in October, we hosted a Preptober event. And so every week we had like a thread going and we discussed how to prep for NaNoWriMo, and that was super fun as well. And during that time, we grew from 200 to 500 members, which was awesome. So that was definitely a check for me. And if you guys, some of you asked me about like how to start a Facebook group and how to run them. And so if you jump in my Facebook group, you'll see how I run it. And if you have any questions or you'd like me to do a video about how to do a successful Facebook group to help writers and to help your platform, that's something I could think of as well. Just let me know. You're welcome, Ryan. And then Rebecca says, those on mobile, hold your finger over the unwarranted comment and you can flag it for being inappropriate. Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, that's the only thing with going live. I can't control who's in the chat, but thank you. Definitely help me out there. Instagram, that was my next section, and I wanted to do at least 2 posts a week, and I did that pretty consistently for a while, but then I got to a point recently where I've been doing like 1. So sorry, I am like super active in my stories though, so if you're on Instagram and you're like, where's Brittany? She used to post so much. I am trying to get back to that, but definitely check out my stories because I'm there like every day, multiple times a day. So. And the other thing is I wanted to batch my photos, which I did a little bit of, and that helped for a certain period. But with all the rain and the just terrible weather outside, it's hard to take good photos. So that's something I'm working on as well. My next section was Twitter. And so I want to tweet at least once a day. And that has pretty much happened, either tweeting or retweeting. I haven't been very involved in Twitter previous to like these last 2 months, but after doing my collab video with Meg Latour, which I have linked below, she shared like all these tips about doing Twitter for authors and how to make that successful. So if you're struggling with Twitter, definitely go watch that. You'll get so much information, but I feel like I'm getting handle, I feel like I'm really like connecting with people and other writers through Twitter. So that is super fun. And I wanted to take part in at least one Twitter chat a week, which I think was one of those ambitious goals, big goals. I didn't do that. I think I did a couple, maybe like once a month. So you'll see what I plan to do for this next month. Counterfeit I can't talk. Canine, sorry. Woo. How does one build the energy to actually start writing? I'm bullied every day. Oh, I'm so sorry. And lose my lunch money every morning, and it causes me to become depressed and avoid from placing pen on paper. Counterfeit canine, I am so sorry. That is terrible. That is not right. And with the writing, I don't know about you, but writing has actually really fueled me when I've been going through bad things. Even if you're not writing fiction, but you're just journaling or something, and that could even spiral into writing. But I would just, first of all, I would say you need to tell somebody. Just, I know this is not writing related, but you need to tell somebody that you're getting bullied, because that is not right. And that needs to get taken care of. But for the writing aspect, please, please, please take some time and express how you're feeling as you're writing, and start there. And I'm sure that that will get you back into writing, and even sort of escaping from life a little bit and writing fiction. That has always helped me. So I hope that's encouraging to you. Again, I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that, and we are all here for you, and you are not alone. But I hope that you get the courage to say something as well. Brooke says, what are the benefits of going live on Instagram versus YouTube versus Facebook? That is a whole kit and caboodle right there that I could talk about for a while. Once we get through these, Brooke, if you're still here, and I'll try to answer it even if you're not, but I might have to make a whole video about that. But that's a really good question. We can dialogue about that on Instagram if you want to DM me too. Lizzie says, you should be able to, if you're on a computer, move your, okay, good. You guys are helping me out there. Cool. And then Rebecca says, great questions, Brooke. I believe it has to do with engagement. The more of it, the more of it, the more love the algorithms give you. Yeah. Yeah, but there's so much that we could talk about, Brooke. So yeah, let's DM if I don't get to it today. All right. Then I have a blog, which I started, and it's not like my main thing, but if you guys have an author website or you're looking to develop one, that is a way to get new content on your website and pull people from like Google searches onto your website, so you get more traffic. So I know that I've wanted to do it, but I know I'm needed to do it as well. And between that and then pinning pictures from my blog to Pinterest and doing like specific kinds of pictures that work on Pinterest, I've gotten to like 400 subscribers on my newsletter on my website, which is like crazy. So I haven't even been doing 2 blog posts a week all the time like I've wanted to, but because I've been using Pinterest, that's been getting a lot more traffic to my website, which is crazy. And that was from a lot of help from Jade Young, who gave me some great tips. So just some things there for you guys if you're looking to do a blog or you have a blog. I also have my newsletter, as I said, and I wanted to do 1 newsletter a month with a free resource every month. And that was a little ambitious. And I did do 1 free resource in September, but not October. And that was the digital series Bible template. Cool. And then your pictures are gorgeous. Yay, thanks. And then we had the secret project. That was my last thing that I had in my last video that I talked about. And that, as I revealed in the beginning, is my author website services that I'm going to be launching next week. That's the hope. So in this video next week on Monday, that's what I'll be talking about. I'll be sharing all the details, and I will also be doing a giveaway, and I'll be answering all of your questions. So after I share all about it, if you have any questions about the offerings or what they entail that I didn't already explain, you can get them answered live during live next week. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this at the very end because I want to also let you know my goals are for the next 2 months, and that I will try to do quickly because I know we've been on here for a while anyway, and you guys are amazing for still being here. I hope this is encouraging, guys. Let me know if this is encouraging or if it's just boring, because I don't want to do boring videos. But if this is encouraging to you, definitely let me know. I hope it's spurring you guys on to go after those goals, to make those goals, and to be okay if you don't get all of your goals, because as you can tell, I didn't get all of mine. But what I want to let you know about these author website services, I'm going to have 3 different things that I'm offering. And right now, you can actually get exclusive access ahead of time by taking a quick survey, and the link is in the description below. And you take that survey, it gets sent to me, and then I send you those details early before anybody else. And I'm only one person, so I can only help a certain amount of authors with their websites at a time. So if you get that exclusive access and you take advantage of it, you will get those first slots. Otherwise, if you take advantage of it later, you might get pushed out a couple months. So just putting that out there, but I have more details coming for you at the end after I share my goals for the next 2 months. Just checking the comments here. Brooke, any updates on the Facebook page of Hogwarts House word count nano competition? So the competition has started for the Nano House Cup. If you are in our Facebook group, you know what that is. And we are, the first week is going to end on Wednesday. And that's where we are going to announce how many words we did for this first full week from Thursday to Wednesday to Natalie, who's going to do a post. And we all get to report what house we are and what word count we did. And then she, by Friday, is going to have a graphic that's going to tell us which house is winning our House Cup. If you guys are totally lost about what I'm talking about, there is a video about the Nano House Cup and our Harry Potter themed cabin for NaNoWriMo. And yeah, but Brooke, let me know if there's any other updates you want to know. But if you actually, in the Facebook group, whether you're doing the Nano House Cup or not, we are doing a ton of word sprints. And so if you need word sprints during NaNoWriMo, definitely come join us over there. The link is down below. Hi, Peggy. Loving these types of talks, Brittany. Good, Brooke. I'm so excited. It's good. JM says, yes, very encouraging. I can stress myself out when I don't hit a goal, and I just need to remember that it's okay. Yes, as long as you tried. Exactly. Love that. Cool. Yes. You guys are talking about the houses. Awesome. And then Lizzie says, I'm going to hop off here, going to tackle some of my to-do list. Thanks for the chat. You're so welcome. So glad you liked it. Yes. And so let me just finish up real quick. I'm going to tell you what my goals are for the next 2 months, tell you a little bit more about those author website offerings, and then we will be done for today. Wow. You guys are amazing for being here, by the way. Thank you. So writing, in my first section for my goals for the next 2 months, I want to win NaNoWriMo by writing my second draft of my work in progress. So at least 50K, but I'm probably going to have to get it to like about 70K to like finish the actual draft. And I'm actually going to be doing the NaNoWriMo work in progress tag very soon that Bethany created and tagged me in. So I'll be telling you a lot more about my work in progress there. But if you have any questions right now, I can definitely answer them. And then for writing in December, I want to start sending chunks of my manuscript to my critique partners so that I can be ready for beta readers in January. Again, that might be a little ambitious, but that's the goal. And again, I want to prepare for beta readers in January. Yay! Cool. Great. Really encouraging. Great. Thanks, Stephen. For reading, for my section of reading goals, I want to read at least 1 book a month. And right now I'm reading Throne of Glass, which I know is like one of Sarah J. Maas's like earlier series, but I haven't read it yet. And she has an anti-hero main character, which is like mine. It has a little bit of Fae going on in there, I think, and has a competition going on. So again, I just want to get inspired, but also make sure I'm not doing anything too similar. But I'm reading that right now, and then I will have 1 more book that I will read the next month. You look happy. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. Yeah, so glad you started Throne of Glass. Yes, we can talk about that too. Katie and I talk about books sometimes that we've read. So if you ever want to discuss books, you can DM me on Instagram. AuthorTube. I want to do at least 1 video a week, but they are going to be live streams like this. So yay. And I have no control over this. but I'm steadily growing, and I've gone to like, I think I'm at 672 subscribers right now, but I would love to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. I know, another ambitious goal, but I really would love to do that. And I would love to celebrate somehow. So if you guys have any ideas or giveaways or things you would like me to do in celebration for hitting 1,000 subscribers, let me know, and I will definitely set that up. And if you guys can help share my channel or any videos that you found really helpful, you guys could really help me out to get to 1K or 1K by the end of the year. That'd be great. Rebecca says, yes, for Faye, you have to read Throne of Glass. Faye element gets bigger with each book. Okay, that's where I'm just starting to like get to the part where they're introducing more of that in the first book. That's wonderful. I bet you'll get there. Thank you. 1,000 is doable for you. You guys are so encouraging. Cool. Okay. So thank you guys so much. This is fun. For the Plotter Life Writers Facebook group, I still want to do one big or semi-big event every month. So in November, we're doing the Nano House Cup. And for December, we're thinking of taking like just a breather a little bit, but doing like a book club. So we'll pick a book, whether for fun or like a writing craft book. Maybe we'll even do Save the Cat. I mean, I've already read it, but it'd be fun to like go through it again with other people. And do, a book club in the Facebook group during December. So, and then we'll probably do some kind of editing event for January, because everybody, after taking a break from their Nano project, will probably want to be editing. So let me know what you guys think about those events, and if you would like them. For Instagram, I want to post at least 2 times a week. I would love to post more, but that's still the goal, and I still want to be batching my photos. So that's still the goal, bringing that back. Hopefully I can do it this time. Twitter, I want to tweet at least once a day and take part in at least 1 Twitter chat a month instead of a week, because that was just like too much for me right now. And for my blog, I want to post at least 1 blog post a week. And you can see where like my goals were a little more ambitious the last 2 months, and now they're just, I'm still having those goals, they're just not as like intense. Let me just check the comments. Bethany, hi. Heard the 1K goal, you've got this. Thank you. Book club sounds great. Awesome. Sounds fun. Awesome. And then bring edit. Yeah. So in January, maybe we'll bring edit that draft back. That would be super fun, but we could do it like in the Facebook group, which would be great. Okay. And then newsletter, I want to keep doing at least 1 newsletter a month with 1 free resource every other month. That would just be a lot more doable for me. Okay. Those are all the goals, except for the last goal is launching the author website creator, which is my author website services. I'm so excited, you guys. And I'm going to be offering 3 different services. So I'm going to give you a little taste of it right now, but next week's live stream is going to be all about it. We're going to have all the details. We're going to have answering any of your questions, and I'm probably going to do some discounts or giveaways for you guys, especially those that are here for the live. So let me know what time next Monday would be best for you, that you would like to show up for that. But let me tell you just a little bit about what I'm offering. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat if you have an author website. If you do you love it? Are you totally satisfied with it? Or do you want to improve some things? What things do you want to improve? And if you don't have an author website, or you've tried and you've just like gotten frustrated, do you want an author website, and would you like help? Let me know that in the comments. But while we do that, I am going to show you a little snippet, a little hint here. I'm going to show you these secret pages that are going to be on my website. They're going to be live soon. And I'm trying to remember how I can share my screen with you. I thought I could. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see this. This is a little sneak peek of my author website creator. I'm just going to scroll a little bit here. And I talk about why you need a website, what are the pitfalls, and I also talk about my different authors that I've worked with so far that have been like my beta testers and what their websites look like. And then I have my 3 options here. So I can either teach you how to create it yourself, I can create it for you, or we can do a 1-hour consult where I suggest improvements. So let me just bring you back here. I want to stop. Okay, let me know if you guys saw that because it should have worked. Okay, you guys can see it, great. Awesome. So yeah, so that was just a little preview. And if you take the survey in my description, you guys, this is where the canned videos are helpful because you can edit out all these craziness. But in the description below, there is a survey you can take that just gives me a little bit of information about like, yeah, do you have a website? What are you looking for? It's not a commitment of like hiring me for anything or buying anything. It's just to get sort of like some data from people of like what they're looking for. And then when you send me that survey, I will send you the link to these secret pages, and you will be able to check out all the details before anybody else and be able to take advantage of anything you want to before it gets shown up to the masses. And again, I don't have all the time in the world yet to commit to this. So I can only take care of a certain amount of clients a certain period of time. So if you want to take advantage of that, just do the survey in the description. Cool. Cool. So some of you are looking to do some changes to your website or to create one. So yeah, definitely do that. The big thing that I'm going to talk about next week is the website in a month bootcamp that I am going to be hosting in December. And I already have, because people have taken the survey already and gotten access. I only have 25 spots for this, you guys, and already 5 people have registered. So the spots are already getting taken up even before I launch. But the goal is to help those people be able to create their website from scratch in a month and have an amazing website that will drive traffic and connect with their readers and get subscribers to a newsletter and all this different stuff. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to tell you more details next week. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. Okay, that is all I have right now. We've almost been on for an hour. So sorry, this is like so long. But I would love to just close out. If any of you guys have specific questions, Brooke, I think you're still here. If you want to talk about the YouTube, Facebook live stuff, just repost that question. And then I'll talk briefly about that. I did have Brandy who said, how do we build up our writing stamina? So I'm just going to answer these questions because they came into Instagram before this live. But I was just saying or thinking, Brandy, go into writing with a plan, like I was saying earlier. Make a daily goal and make it reasonable, even if it's like 100 words or 500 words. Start out small. Do it consistently. It doesn't even have to be every day. Like right now, I'm only writing during the week. I'm not writing on the weekends, so I can catch up or rest during the weekends. So just make it really reasonable so you can create that habit and then write consistently. Again, whatever consistent looks like for you, and gradually increase that word count as time goes on. So those would be my tips for you, Brandy. And then Lixamema said, how do you stick to a writing schedule when you feel drained or just don't have energy like all the time? And I'm so sorry that this is how you feel. But I would sort of maybe examine what's making you drained. Is it your job? Is it people you're hanging out with? What is it in your personal life that's making you drain? Is it health? And it might be good to start to address some of those things in general. But when you're drained too, and you just want to write and you can't change any of those external things, I would just say that make sure that writing is not a chore, that it is a joy. And so if you're not enjoying what you're writing and it's not giving you life, like change up what you're writing or get inspired by reading first, get inspired by watching a movie, but then make like a little goal to just like write again, like I said to Brandy, like just for a little chunk, and sort of push yourself to do that a little bit, even if it's hard. And I think that you'll find if like writing is like at your core, it's actually going to give you life. We can talk about more of that on Instagram if you like, but that was just the tips that were off the top of my head. Okay, so Brooke was asking, what's the pros and cons of going live on YouTube versus Facebook versus Instagram? I think that it really depends where you want to grow your audience. On YouTube, it like publicizes every time you are going live to even people who aren't following you. And if you're trying to get your channel to a place where you can monetize, if you can't do that already, it also gives you a lot more watch time, because you guys, you're watching this. Some of you have been on here for a whole hour, so you know that you need watch time in order to get to a place where you can monetize your channel as well. And they have this great chat here, so you can chat with people and help them one-on-one, or in the group rather. But really, I think between Instagram and YouTube, I think it's just the matter of, it does help your channel like a whole lot. And if that's like the place that you know you want to start monetizing at some point, or you're really wanting to grow, I would focus on YouTube. Instagram though is like so easy and so fun, and I almost like want to do some of these like more on Instagram, just because there is a lot of engagement and you can get a lot more followers through Instagram, because it also projects you as you go live. But yeah, it doesn't save. So like YouTube, like these will save. These will just become regular YouTube videos. Instagram doesn't have that feature. So you do all this work to like have a live, and then it goes away, which is not a bad thing. Like, again, I've grown my platform by going live on Instagram. Like, that was the biggest thing that was helping me grow when I first started. But I think the long haul, like doing YouTube is like really, really helpful. And we can talk more about that in DM, but hopefully that gives you like a little snippet. Facebook, I don't do too much publicly, but I do on my Facebook group, and that just really helps me engage with my Facebook members like so much more. And not a lot of people are going live in their groups, and I think if they did, people in their group would feel a lot more connected to them. And so going live, period, no matter what platform you are on, if you can go live, or you can do a story, or you can show your face, you are connecting with your audience, and you are like the 5% of like all influencers who are doing it everywhere else that are not showing their face, not communicating, not like having this more personal connection. So wherever you want to do it, I think it's super, super helpful. And I have a whole video about that as well. I don't have it linked below, but I can link it below. You can go to my channel, and I have a whole author platform playlist with tips and stuff, but that's one of the YouTube videos where I give a bunch of tips about going live. So there's that. I hope that's really helpful. Peggy says, percentage-wise, how much of your time is spent on writing books and how much is spent on business and social? That is such a good question, Peggy. It is really out of balance right now. But you have to really look at your goals, right? For me, I want to write books, obviously, and that is something that I need to prioritize even more than I am now. But I also feel like I have this immense like teacher's spirit, and part of what I want to do going forward is not just be an author, but be a helper to writers, and to be an influencer, and to teach, and to do all these things. So, and to do like courses and stuff like for the author website stuff. And I want to help support my family by doing more things like that as well, and the household, and my wonderful husband, Ben, who is like being patient with me as I'm pursuing this. And he's like working so hard. So it all depends on what your goals are and what percentage you are doing things. So right now I'm trying to get more to like a 50-50, where like in the morning, it's all about writing. And then in the afternoon, it's more about author platform and course material and different things like that. And, but if you like mostly just like want to write, but you also want to promote yourself, then I think like maybe the balance can be more on the side of like actually developing the books and writing, but then having a smaller percentage where you're doing more marketing and connecting with your audience. And honestly, the biggest thing I can say is like get a newsletter going and get like subscribers to that. Because I talk a little bit about this with the website stuff, and I'll do more next week, but you don't own socials. They could go away at any time. The algorithm can hate you for whatever reason. So if you can get your author website together, a newsletter, and have people consistently connecting to you in a place that you own, that can be half the battle, where you don't have to do quite as much like catching up on socials, because you already have this established group that you have like an immediate in with their email and your own platform. So just off the top of my head, those are things. Computer's dying, I have to go. Thanks so much, Morgan. You were like here from the beginning. You are so amazing. Hope this was helpful. Peggy says, I agree with going live on Instagram and YouTube. Awesome. Loved your question. Fabulous. Cool, cool, cool. Kiana, hi. My first time viewing you live. I'm happy to be here. Oh, so happy you're here too. We are going to be finishing up in a little bit, but this video is going to be on replay so you can watch the beginning. But so glad you're here. Peggy says, gotcha, makes sense. I haven't figured out which percentage to balance yet. Yeah, so it just might take some time and some experimenting. And again, like having like an author coach or having like an accountability partner who's like farther along and like going the same route as you, that you would like to be where they are, maybe asking them questions of like, hey, I sort of want to do what you want to do. How did you get there? Like what percentage did you do each? And so you could ask more people that are sort of in that vein. Newsletters, yes. What types of things can go out in the newsletters? Cool. So I'm going to be there's going to be a package all about newsletters in my author offerings. And so even if you have an author website, but you need help with your newsletter and you don't need me to create it, but you need me to like give you some guidance on newsletters and help you create templates and stuff, that is going to be something separate that you can pay for. And if you take the survey, you get early access to that. So that's what I'm going to say about that for now. Cool. Okay, you guys, we've been on for like about an hour. I did not mean for this to be an hour long. I hope this doesn't scare you, anybody who's watching these, that like, oh my gosh, all of our live streams are going to be an hour. They might be, I don't know. But I just wanted to be able to chat with you guys. I wanted to be able to give you some of my tips and some of my experience. And I hope it was really helpful, and definitely continue to DM me on Instagram because I will chat more about this stuff there. I can do some lives there. But definitely subscribe to my newsletter, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss any of these live streams. You don't miss any of the things that are coming up. And like I said, if you're on the newsletter or you watch my stories on Instagram, you will get more of these like insider things that I don't have the time always to like hop on YouTube and be like, hey, this is what's happening. So all the links are below. You guys are amazing. You guys are saying this was great. I'm so excited. And so this was so much fun. So I loved doing this live with you guys. And I'm going to be signing off. But again, if you came late, this will be on the replay and you can watch it to your heart's content. You all are amazing. And if you haven't already, if you could hit that like button as well, that really helps so that more people can see this YouTube video and be helped like you guys were today. All right. I need some water. I need a talking break. But you guys, I love you so much. And we will be back here next Monday with another live stream. I will let you know when that is. And until next week, happy writing.